everyone. I am so glad you're here for another episode of Ingrid's World. My name is Ingrid Paris Hicklin, and in this show, meet Laura East, an innovative certified yoga therapist, small group and personal trainer, and behavior change specialist. For the past 2 decades, she has served a wide breadth of organizations and communities, hospitals and nonprofits, leading classes in workshops in health, fitness, and wellness. Her students learn and practice effective strategies to cultivate strength, resiliency, balance, and manage stress. I met Laura through a fitness class that she was teaching on Zoom, and I joined during the pandemic. Well, she's not getting rid of me because I candidly say, Laura, you saved my life. Thank you for your positive spirit and enthusiasm. Much love to you, and you get to learn why I love Laura East. Laura, welcome to the show.
Oh my gosh, Ingrid, I am so grateful to be here. Thank you so much for asking me.
Well, I told the viewers a little bit about your education, but let's go into how you have arrived now being a yoga therapist and fitness guru.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I'll tell you, it's been a long journey, but a real wonderful one. Gosh, I don't even know where to start. I guess I could explain just quickly. My childhood, I loved movement and loved being outside in nature and just, working with gymnastics. I was a gymnast when I was younger. I practiced gymnastics and
Wow.
made it to state gymnast. State gymnast in '88 for state of Virginia, so that was really interesting. But so after that, I began just learning a lot about yoga, and when I was a teenager, just explored different movement modalities and was really very fascinated by all of that. So I just continued studying and learning, and after college, I decided I was going to be a teacher. So it was
Nice.
fast forwarding a lot, but yeah. So that's how I started. Just wanting to help other people in different ways. I knew I didn't want to be working in a gym. I loved working with people from different backgrounds, and growing up in Northern Virginia, there's so much diversity in Northern Virginia, so I love that, and just wanted to work with people from all walks of life, and it's just so much more interesting. Life is so much more interesting that way. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So tell us about teaching in the virtual world.
Oh, yes.
Because that's a whole different story.
It is. It's totally different. I mean, there's trade-offs in everything in life, right?
Yeah.
It's opened up a lot of doors for me. I really feel like I've been able to reach a lot more people. Before the pandemic, I was driving a lot and spending a lot of time in my car, driving to hospitals and different studios and spaces. And now I don't have to spend as much time in my car. I feel like I can reach so many more people. So it's been a real blessing that way. Yeah. So. Yeah.
So, I think it's so wonderful what you're doing. And now, the difference, you're teaching in the virtual world.
Mostly, yeah.
You connect with people so well. I mean, because you're like, I don't know how you figure it out, because you must do hundreds of classes, and you're like, oh, hi, how you doing? Oh,
I know.
Join us. I'm like, how does she know this?
Yeah, I'll tell you, if I hadn't have taught, for, it's been 18 years before the pandemic hit. Okay. If I wasn't doing like in-person classes, I don't think I would have been able to transition. So it was it would have been difficult, having to connect and really understand, it would have been difficult, I think, if I hadn't been teaching for so long before we went online. So
So
yeah.
so your education background, your career, you've already had, like, say, the foundation of being able to make the transition to virtual.
Yes. Yep.
Ah.
Yeah. So that really helped for sure. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, well,
Definitely.
it's pretty wonderful because when I join your class, I always feel like I've accomplished, I've been able
Great.
to do it, and I like turning my camera on. I
I
like
love
seeing
seeing you.
other
It's so
people. I like seeing
yeah.
you, and it's a shared experience. So,
Exactly.
so when you started, you were active in college, and how did you know for sure you wanted to do fitness? Because I think fitness, I don't know, that's a very hard field to me.
Yes. Yes. I don't know. It was just, something in my heart. I felt like that was the right thing. And I don't know. It's a very hard field for sure. That's very true.
It really is.
But I love how it makes me feel. I love how it helps my students. I can see a difference, and I think that really makes the world a difference when I see how people, are, when they take my classes and how much they, experience and just get a lot of really good feedback from it. So it feels right. Yeah. So basically, that's it. It just feels right.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
so let's touch on about the importance of exercise. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk because I'm always having this debate. People say, "Oh, I just need to watch what I'm eating," but I'm like, I think it's a lot more to it than just eating. Speak on the exercise piece.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, you know, that's a big topic. I mean, it sounds really simple, but movement is so important for our health and our overall well-being. You think about how you feel after a good workout. You get those endorphins that come in. It's all these good feel-good hormones. So it's not just like physically, oh, I'm trying to, buff up my arms or whatever. I mean, it's really a mental aspect too that can, I mean, it helps for stress relief. And of course, we all want to be like, functioning adults when we get older. I mean, when we're like, 70, 80, 90 years old, we still want to be able to move and,
Right.
stay, doing things that we love to do, just simple things like,
Yes.
lifting, stuff up, in our cabinets or, keeping our balance. Balance is so important. And yeah, so exercise is more than just, building up your muscles.
Right.
It's the feel good, the sense of the stress relief and how it makes you feel afterwards. I think is just really one of the big keys for sure. But we do want to stay strong. You want strong bones. You want strong muscles. Bones are really important. Having strong bones when we get older, and all that stuff.
So, should I be working out before breakfast or after breakfast? Is there a
Good question.
rhyme or reason with that?
Yeah, so I mean, I think that, you could have something light before a workout. I mean, it's not advised to be like having a full meal before a workout because then, you're working on digesting and everything like that.
Ah,
Thinking about maybe something very light like a piece of fruit, just to keep your blood sugar more stable, that can have a huge effect on your workout. Um, so, depends on the person really, but like making sure you don't eat a full meal, like a good, like huge breakfast isn't advisable before a workout. But if you have something light, that's always good. Something little, not a lot, but maybe just, a piece of fruit or something would be fine. Yeah.
and when is the best time to work out?
Good question. I love this question. Anytime. Anytime is the best time. Um,
I
no,
love
I
it.
mean,
I love
really,
it.
anytime you can do it. Um, a lot of people like to go work out in the morning when they have more energy. Because during the day, after, the 3 o'clock slump, sometimes that can be tough for people. But truly, any time of the day is better than none. So if you can only work out at night, then yeah, definitely work out at night after work. If you can get it in the morning, a lot of people, you see how your energy level is.
See how your energy level is. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because if you have more energy in the morning, most people do, mornings is a good time, but afternoon, I teach a lot of like lunchtime classes. That's really popular and people can get it in between, their lunch. That's very helpful too. So yeah, anytime really.
Wow, anytime. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fitness watch wearer, and I like to track
Yes.
my steps.
Smart.
So
Love
does
it.
does that help my fitness?
Yes, I think it does for sure. Because, I mean, you're keeping track of your steps, and steps are really important when we're leading sedentary lives. A lot of people are sitting a lot. And to be able to keep track of your steps is really good motivation for movement. So, whatever kind of movement you can get, steps is great motivation. I've noticed a huge difference in my students that don't keep track of their steps. The people that do keep track of their steps seem a lot more motivated, and I think they get a lot more results in their fitness for sure.
So
Yeah.
is there an importance of having like the 10,000 or the 12,000 steps?
I know that's such a tough thing, right?
Right,
Because
right.
really, it's like 10,000 steps is like what, like 5 miles or
It's
something
five.
like
Yeah,
that?
it's almost five
Yeah.
miles.
Yeah, 5 miles is, that's a good amount of time. I know there's been some studies that show that even if you can get 8,000 steps in a day, that is a huge, huge, really great level of fitness to work to. So, starting off, don't overdo yourself. I always try to explain to them, don't try to go from like, 5,000 steps to 12,000 steps in a week. If you're not used to that, do incremental, add a couple thousand miles if you can. A couple hundred steps.
Okay, right.
Not that, yeah. So, yeah, it just takes some practice and learning how to. Sets the time for yourself. You gotta make that appointment time to do your walk.
I love what you're saying. Make that appointment time for yourself.
Yes, appointment time for yourself, because then otherwise, life goes. We're always so busy and things can get in the way. So if you set that appointment time for yourself, commit to it. You can
Commit to it.
do it.
So,
Yeah.
so Laura, you taught one of the exercises. Well, you teach wonderful exercises, but I really like this one about focusing your vision. Can you?
Yeah.
I'd like you to show us how to do that, and I'll do it with you as you say.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so yeah, I do this in a lot of the balance classes that I teach, and there's a lot of great eye exercises you can do for balance, but this one in particular is kind of cool because it helps keep us from doing this like narrow vision. We're always like looking forward and not really broadening our eyes. So one thing that you can do is so the exercise is just all right. So what I want you to do is just think about like focusing forward, and you want to try to keep the head from moving.
Okay.
And you don't want to move the head. You just want to keep your eyes focused. And what we're going to do is look forward at your thumbs, and then ever so slowly begin to slowly move your hands without moving your eyes. This is the hard part.
Yeah, it is.
Eyes stay steady at one fixed point, and just see if you can move your hands a little bit so that you see your thumbs in the periphery. So it's like peripheral vision training, where you're kind of broadening your vision so you can kind of see things on the outside, and just see how far you can go. If you can go out a little farther, I'm going to stand up so I can show you all. So you can do it that way. You could do farther, and then bring it in close, and then, farther away, and just wiggle your thumb. See if you can see it in the distance.
Okay.
Like on the side of your eyes. And this can be tough to train, but this helps to keep awareness of like the stuff around us, like that we can see in the distance, right? So instead of looking forward, We're looking sideways. We're just, yeah, wiggle the thumbs, bring it in a little bit if you can't see it, and just kind of find that spot where it's like challenging, but not too challenging. Not too easy, but yeah.
Not that easy. Not that easy.
What's that?
It's not that easy, but it's good.
I know. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So can you demonstrate like a flexibility exercise, a little, just a little to maintain flexibility exercise?
Yeah. There's so many great movements you can do to maintain flexibility. The key is to make sure you move every day with flexibility. You definitely want to stretch every day. A couple things you don't want to stretch on with the cold muscles. Like you don't want to be cold when you're doing stretches. So that's really important. As you can kind of imagine, when you're cold, the muscles will kind of tense up and you get really kind of tense and tight, and that makes it really hard for you to stretch.
Right.
So for instance, like, okay, I'm going to give you a couple ideas for the neck and shoulders, because oftentimes a lot of people have, a lot of people hold tension in their neck and shoulders, and we're always doing this text neck thing now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So this is one that you can practice, and just start off with, like, you could go into a nice, easy little side ear to shoulder kind of movement, and think about lengthening all the way down your arms. And if you're seated, just think about like sitting upright, like work on your posture as you're kind of lengthening, and just go gently side to side with the neck. If that feels okay.
Ooh.
And you can bring your arm across, give yourself a little pat on the traps, and you can say to yourself, relax traps.
Yeah, open up.
Relax those muscles.
Wake up.
Relax the traps. And then we'll try the other side and just give yourself a good pat. Massage a little bit of the traps. Another really nice one to do for the shoulders is a quick tense and release. So see if you can just gently bring the shoulders up close towards the ears. Make fists and just squeeze a little bit here and just kind of like tighten for a moment. Contract, contract, and then slowly bring it down. And just try to lengthen, reach all the way down through the fingertips. And just keep kind of like stretching out through the fingers. And then keep holding that position. Just go side to side again. So this is a nice one for the neck. You could try. Yeah, there's all kinds of really good ones. And then you can move into like shoulder circle stretches. You can kind of squeeze the upper back. Go up and around nice and easy. So this looks kind of easy, but you know you're doing something here. You're just bringing in fresh blood to all those muscles here. You bring it up and squeeze, and then slowly release.
Ooh, that feels good.
Right? Yeah, there's lots of really good things like that. Super simple. Like you can do a little bit of that every day. In the middle of your day, if you start feeling a little bit of tension, you know, just something quick like that. It doesn't take a full hour.
Wow, I love it. And then what about like foot exercises with a ball or anything like that?
Yes, I love foot exercises. I'm so glad you asked.
I know, I love your foot exercise.
Know. So for balance, it's huge. I mean, I know a lot of people don't really think about the feet so much. And it's kind of one of those areas where we often neglect our feet. So I always try to recommend, you know, make sure that you have space in your shoes, or if possible, you know, definitely find time to take your shoes off and wiggle your toes. Toe curls. One technique that I love to do is with a ball. And you can find like a tennis ball. You know, there's so many great little balls out there you can use. And I'm going to step back from the camera and I'll just show you real quickly. One of my teachers taught me this years ago. We called it foot flossing. So funny, right? It's kind of a funny name.
Nice,
but
nice.
If you find a ball that's like not too hard, not too soft, it's got to be just right. And everybody's a little different, right? Like lacrosse balls, I think, are usually very too hard for people.
Right.
So, you know, you can use a ball that feels comfortable and then just place it underneath your foot. And as you're standing, you can just begin to massage out all the fascia and the arch of your foot, and just kind of rock back and forth like this, and see if you can map out your foot. So I know it looks kind of funny, but just, you could do it seated, but ideally standing, and just kind of go around in a circle on your heel. And then see if you can go up to the arch of your foot, like follow up to the big toe, and then try the second toe line and the third, and just nice and gentle. So it's got to feel good. If you start to pucker your face and kind of scrunch up, you're pushing too hard.
You're pushing too hard.
Yeah, so just kind of make it nice and easy. It should feel good, like a massage. So you just, press a little bit,
Wow.
not super deep, not, and then see if you can spread your toes a little bit. Go
And
right
spread your
to-
toes a little bit.
Yeah, so see if you
Love
can
it.
kind of use your toes to grip a little bit. And this is going to help tremendously with your balance. So
Love
even
it.
just a little bit like that, you can feel a difference on one side connecting with your feet.
And then what exercise can I do in a chair?
Oh, all kinds of things. You would be amazed. Like some people think, oh yeah, chair exercises are like not, they're not very good. But you can really get a good workout in a chair. So, but if you're seated, I'm going to give you all a couple examples. Just thinking about, sitting right at the edge of your chair. So that's really important. So just kind of like, if you have a few minutes to do some movements, think about, you could do a core exercise with learning how to isolate those core muscles, so you can kind of scoop and lean back a little bit and stretch. And then as you exhale, kind of pull the navel in and squeeze. And then open, nice full inhale. Exhale, squeeze, contract those core muscles here. And then open, so you want to use your breath. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze and contract. And you don't need weights for this one. You don't need to stand. You could do core exercises literally in your chair.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know, right? You want to do a few more?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it's one more.
Okay, one more. Oh dear.
No. That's
So many great ones. Yeah, there's so many great ones. All right. So how about we do? You want to do another core exercise in the chair?
Yes. Well, actually,
right.
it's a good segue for me to ask you. What is your routine for staying healthy? Because you're pretty amazing.
Oh, you're amazing. Thank you. You're so sweet. Okay, so real quickly, we'll do, how about a rotation twist? So sitting up nice and tall, you can think about, as you exhale, just gently rotating the upper back, torso twist. And twists are really great for helping to wake up the body, like especially if you get a little tired in your chair. This one here helps to kind of energize the body.
Oh.
And then when you want to activate and add a little bit more core to it, all you need to do is try lifting up the legs. So think about like knee lifts, lean back a little bit, use those core muscles, and then twist. Good. So this one definitely kicks it up a notch. It makes it a little bit more challenging for sure. You could try maybe a few more if you wanted. Just think about your intensity level.
Wow. I love it.
Yeah, knee twist.
Wow, a new twist. So you have the secret for staying healthy. And so we want to make, you do. Can you give us a little bit about what's your routine? What do you do?
All right, well, in the morning, I love to meditate. I have just a tiny little bit of time in the morning usually. I try to connect with nature. I go outside. I try to listen to the birds. I just, I'm so grateful when I wake up in the morning, and I'm just, just try to, be thankful. And so I wake up and I do a little bit of meditation. Depends on, just listening is always good. Just trying to be still and quiet my mind a little bit. And then so then I've got the rest of my day. I've got a grandson that I play with sometimes, and then I teach. And I also, after I teach, I'll tell you, I do a lot of like gentle movements. Legs up the wall pose is one of my favorite restorative poses. I love doing after a long day.
Wow.
I'll literally put my legs up against the wall. I recommend that mostly for all of my students if you can. And yeah, it's just really nice practice. You just relax, all the blood flushes from your feet, and you just put on some relaxing music, ocean waves, whatever you like to help to kind of get you in the relaxation state.
Well, Laura, you have just been absolutely amazing, sharing
Aw, thank you.
your techniques of how we can stay healthy and active. It is absolutely amazing. We're sharing your information about how to follow you on various websites there, and LinkedIn and your website. And I just had to thank you so much for being on the show. And everyone, you got to meet Laura East, who, hey, that's how I'm getting through this pandemic, thanks to Laura.
Thank you, Ingrid.
Well, thank you for being on the show and showing us fitness routines so we could remain flexible and healthy. And my inspirational quote is from Eleanor Brown. Self-care is any action you purposely take to improve your physical, emotional, or spiritual well-being. By making time for self-care, you prepare yourself to be your best so you can share your gifts with the world. Thank you so much for watching Ingrid's World. Connect with me on Facebook at Ingrid's World and Twitter and Instagram at Ingrid's World VA. And yes, if you miss an episode, you can watch me on YouTube at Ingrid's World YouTube channel and ingridsworld.org. Thanks for watching.